Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the world of computer programming. So if you've ever wanted to know how software gets made, or maybe even wanted to try writing some yourself, you are in the exact right place. We're going to start with the most basic question of all.
I mean, really think about it. At its core, that's the whole puzzle, isn't it? We have these unbelievably powerful machines, right? But they don't speak English. They don't speak any human language. So how do we bridge that gap? How do we take an idea from our heads and turn it into instructions a machine can actually understand and, do something with? All right, section 1, the why. Before we get to the answer, let's take a quick look back at how we even got here. It's a journey that goes from simple mechanical gears all the way to complex circuits.
Just look at this timeline. It's wild. We start way back in 1822 with Charles Babbage's analytical engine, basically a programmable computer made of brass and iron. Fast forward 100 years, and we've got computers using vacuum tubes that fill up entire rooms. Then came transistors, making everything smaller, faster. And now, since the 60s, we have integrated circuits which cram billions of transistors onto a tiny chip in your phone. With every single one of these leaps, the problem got bigger. How do we tell these incredibly fast machines what to do? And that brings us to the what. The solution? We invented programming languages. Honestly, the best way to think about it is just like learning any new language, right? If you want to talk to someone in France, you learn French. The words, the grammar, the rules. It's the exact same idea with computers.
So a programming language is really just that, a formal way to communicate. It's got its own vocabulary, special keywords, and it has very strict grammar rules, which we call syntax. When we're writing code, all we're really doing is writing sentences in a language that the computer is built to understand.
Okay, so if we're going to learn a language, which one should we pick? Well, for millions of people just starting out, the answer is Python. And here's why. It was literally designed to be easy to read. The syntax is so clean, it almost looks like plain English. But, and this is a big but, don't let that simplicity fool you. It is incredibly powerful. We're talking about a language used by giants like Google and Netflix for basically everything. And here's the best part. You get all that power without all the usual headaches.
Okay, section 3, Python's simple building blocks. Let's get our hands dirty and look at the basic vocabulary and grammar. These are the core ideas that everything else is built on top of.
First up is something called a variable. And the labeled box analogy is perfect. Seriously, just imagine you have a box. You put some information inside it, and you stick a label on the front, like users_age or greeting_message. From then on, whenever you need that info, you just use the label. Simple as that.
So what kind of stuff can we put in these boxes? Well, one of the most basic types of information is an integer. And that's just a fancy word for a whole number. No fractions, no decimals. Just a plain old number like 10 or -5 or 42.
But what about text? What about words and sentences? For that, we use something called a string. A string is just any sequence of characters, letters, numbers, symbols, whatever, as long as it's wrapped in quotation marks. That's the key. You want to store a name or a welcome message. You just put quotes around it, and boom, you've got a string.
So let's put it all together. Look at this. We're creating two variables, two of those labeled boxes. In the first line, we make a box called message, and we put the text, the circle's radius is, inside it. In the second line, we make another box, call it radius, and we put the number 10 inside. And just like that, with two super simple lines of code, we've told the computer to store both text and a number for us.
All right, now for the really fun part. There is a time-honored tradition in programming. The very first thing you do when you learn a new language is write a tiny program that just makes the words "Hello World" appear on the screen. It's like the official first step, a way to know everything's working.
And this slide says it all. This right here is why people fall in love with Python. On the left, you see how to write "Hello World" in a language called Java. You need all this ceremony, a class, a main method. It's a lot of stuff just for one simple thing. Now, look at the right. That's Python. One line, print "Hello World." It does the exact same thing, but it just gets straight to the point. This is Python's whole philosophy in action, simplicity.
Now, seeing that probably makes you think, wait a second.
I could do that. And you know what? You're absolutely right. You can. Getting started is way, way easier than you probably think. Let's just break down the actual steps.
It's really just these 4 steps. First, you go to python.org and you download the installer. It's totally free. Second, you get a code editor, which is just a program for writing text. A fantastic one, also free, is Visual Studio Code. Third, you open a new file, you type that one magical line, print, hello world, and you save it. And finally, step 4, you run that file. And that's it. Your message pops up on the screen. You've just written and run your very first computer program.
You know, this quote just wraps it all up perfectly. Python was created to tear down the walls, to make programming something that everyone could do. Scientists, artists, students, anyone with a curiosity. That clean, simple style we've been talking about, it's all about serving that one big, powerful idea. Programming is for everyone.
So we'll leave you with this. You now know that programming is just a way of giving instructions to a computer. You've seen that Python makes writing those instructions incredibly straightforward. You've got the basic building blocks. So the question is, if you had this tool, what's the very first problem you'd want to solve with it? Thanks for watching.